Sifl's his dad, and he's getting beaten, you know, S&M after work and everything. And like,
everything short of subbing for Click Whitaker.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, that was my friend Cynthia that did the voice, and she's so funny. She has such a great voice. It's so deep. And she used to be on soap opera. She was on a bunch of soap operas in the 80s. And she has the best, like, deep voice and everything, and she's just a good friend, and so it was really funny to, we wanted to, did she do another voice?
I don't know.
Did she do one of the porn star ghosts?
Yeah, didn't she sing Touch a Touch
Did she
Me?
do one of them?
No, Touch a Touch is
Jenny.
Jenny, a really good friend of mine. That's got an awesome voice. And she's actually an active actor in Nashville.
She did such a good job, and she was so nervous on Touch It, Touch It, Touch Me. I mean, she sounds so good. Like she does.
She's a great puppet too.
That was a great puppet.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was a cool puppet.
And she did one of the ex-girlfriends too, the one that was holding the flower.
She did a lot of the ex-girlfriends. We
Couple
changed
of
her
them, too,
voice.
like two of them.
Yeah, she did 2 to 3 of Olly's ex-girlfriends.
The one was a drag queen?
Who did that one? Did you do the drag queen voice?
Kendra.
They all did.
Kendra. No, that was Jenny.
Oh, it was, but we pitched her voice down. It was the same girl that sung Touch It, Touch It, Touch Me. Oh, did she do all of them? Who was the flower? At the end.
I think I did the flower. Hey, buddy, you go.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Go on, dude.
That was funny.
That was
funny.
hilarious. Yeah, that was good. Olly
Just to bring back the talking plants, too.
How do you feel? How you guys feel now that you moved on? I mean, it's kind of sad the show's over, but how do you feel that you moved on? I mean, you.
Well, I don't know. It's I feel great. But, you know, I mean, doing lots of other things and stuff. But
Can you tell us about it?
for me, it's like keep it. I mean, I've still been fighting so hard trying to get these tapes for so long that now it's just kind of like reigniting again. I think too. So they're not going to go away. We were offered that, you know, I can release, you know, the CDs of all the songs finally, and the first CD that'll be out will be Sifl and Olly's songs of season 1, and then songs of season 2, and then so we'll be able to release all that stuff, and
Except for the covers.
except for the cover songs, because obviously you guys know the story now. Jerks.
So when they finally release the seasons in terms of that, will it be on CD or will it be VHS? Or
Oh, I don't know. Probably have to do.
We're trying to decide that. We're trying to.
That's what I'm trying to get. That's what we're trying to do. I get literally tens of thousands of requests for
It'd be
DVD
half.
every
Request
day.
fresh.
I get at least 25 requests for DVDs every day.
Unless it's production company.
Yeah.
This all seems so weird because I mean it's been a year and a half
Yeah,
since
everything will
we
come
did
out
season
through.
3, so
I
it's
mean, it'll still be
been
shared
a
with MTV,
long
but
time
yeah,
since we've actually done anything. So
We just got to make sure.
If
It was
this is a
basic-
sample, I do focus groups sometimes. If this is a sample of America, you get a pretty big audience.
I'm not so sure it's the sample.
Sure it is.
Completely right.
But
If this was a sample of America, we'd all be riding Crescent Fresh. We wouldn't try to tell everyone else that. Yeah, Bush is not very Crescent Fresh. He might be, though. He might have a total Crest side.
that you just it only comes out when you're like camping with them.
Yeah. Cooking hot dogs.
He's like, dude,
I brought comic books.
Actually, what are your new projects that you're working on? Can you tell us
we're
anything?
doing all sorts of different stuff. I'm doing weird things. We're doing a new show together for MTV. We're doing a pilot right now for L Powerful Television. And that's been an ongoing process because we
For
were
a while.
doing. It started off as a live action comedy show, like sketch comedy, but then Andy Dick was doing a sketch comedy show, and we heard that he was doing his pilot. We knew he wouldn't get on because he's Andy Dick and he would get on. So we changed it to a cartoon show. And so we've been working, so then we had to like throw away all of our scripts we'd written for sketch comedy and take advantage of cartoons. And so we've been writing the script for those, so we're doing that. And I'm doing a couple of other things with another pilot for MTV that's about the school I went to in England, and a Tenacious D special. And he's a D shirt on. Yep. That's the old D shirt though. That's like the really old one. And stuff
Actually,
with
Ben, wherever Ben is the one who introduced us all to
the D. That's right, Ben.
From
And,
Mr. Show.
And working with Jim Henson Company on stuff now too. And I just started that like right before he came
I'd
back
like
out
to
here.
work for Cresvention.
What's that?
I'd like to work for Cresvention.
Yeah, man, it's cool, and what's so cool about it is that it's Charlie Chaplin's movie lot. So when you go there, you get this overwhelming sensation of the energy.
This
There,
silent,
you know, and like in
movie
the sidewalk, you know, he built this place. This is the oldest like studio in Hollywood, and there's his footprints. He walked through the cement all the way from his like office into the studio. He walked through wet cement, and his feet are like in the cement. It's so weird to think, God.
Is he still working the gate?
He still works there, actually. he's dead. He's dead. He's a skeleton. He works there. He's on the payroll.
Forever.
And I'm doing a movie with Roman Coppola. That's a musical. That's really, really weird. But it's really fun, and it's kind of like a cross between Man Who Fell to Earth and Bye Bye Birdie.
Wow.
But it's rock. It's all rock. It's real like punk and the Who type of rock songs and stuff. And so we've been working on that for the last year.
When do you sleep?
I don't really sleep that much. I'm gonna try to. I have insomnia, so you get a lot done in a day. It's a long day. That was another one, like the Olly things, that like he hadn't slept, you know, like by the end of this, because I hadn't slept, and it was method acting.
And I was there and they didn't pay me.
Yeah, we didn't pay. We were stinky. We smelled like basement. And Cutie
Cutie
Kitty.
Kitty. Cutie Kitty's still doing great.
She's in LA now.
Yeah,
Cutie Kitty moved from
Nashville to LA.
You know, like who's the dude that crossed the ocean in the airplane?
Charles Lindbergh.
And he had a fly that was in the cabin with him, and that's how he made the long journeys. He talked to this fly that was buzzing around in the cabin with him as company. And Cutie Kitty was our fly in the basement. Like Cutie Kitty was like the little thing that was always around that we could, you know,
Talk to.
twist twisty bunny rabbit character onto the back of, and it would ride
ride it
like a horse.
And
There's
Cheese
pictures of
Boy
her.
should be stopping by tomorrow.
Oh, that's right, Cheese Boy.
You guys will know him. You'll see him.
Cheese Boy was in season 1. He's coming tomorrow. Anyway, do you guys have anything, Chris or Ben, or any
Is everyone
facts or tidbits?
You guys are crazy.
I mean, these guys all, you know, came into the depths of the basement while it was at its deepest. I mean, we would get weird ideas in our head. It was like, we'd have the budget, and like, well, we've got all the budget for food for the week. We could buy, let's spend it all on plants and make the basement look like a jungle. Like, buy trees and buy like you know, sod for the ground, and like be like, this is just like we're outside.
And that's like having a water slide. That's what the water.
And we were
slide
talking
is.
about turning the basement into a aquarium as one of the discussions. Yeah, because it flooded. And we were like, let's just buy tons of robots to bring us drinks from the kitchen upstairs, you know, and we'll just like put the drink on them and just let them fall down the stairs as if they're delivering them.
And that
we'll
actually turned into a discussion about the rocks, having to put the rocks down.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. That's how it started. But we were like, we need stunt robots. It's not gonna work without it. It's so funny.
Hey Ben.
Does anybody here know the story, maybe you told it earlier tonight, of how everything started? I mean, the two of you guys with tape recorders, and then
I think so. I think everybody probably here is pretty. They probably know. Yeah. I mean, we've been friends for a long time and always doing this. Yeah. What?
it's just it's my favorite story about the whole thing, how it came about.
Just basically we've always recorded our whole lives talking to each other. For no
Video
reason
or
at
tape
all.
recorders or anything. And yeah, I mean, just I'm sure you guys know, but as I was explaining, you asked how I got the name Sifl, because we'd make these weird recordings and do interviews and skits and.
And that's how he also said Chester. I mean, he said tons of different names on this one tape I found, but
It was actually going to be the beginning, because we made Camp Sunnyside up years ago, and then the second album we were going to make the Haunted Spaceship, which just became a song in the series too. And then Liam got accepted to school over in England, so he went, and we would send tapes back and forth to each other, just to, send us weird stuff.
Car at the
sent-
stoplight, screaming, like singing in this fake language, like going like all these songs.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like,
And I think
"What's
actually on
happening
one
in
tape
America?"
was up here in the cabinet.
yeah,
I was like, and it
in
was like,
cabinets
stop,
was on it.
up here in the cabinets, and it would stop, and I'm like, bang on the pots and pans,
Yeah.
on rubber band,
Yeah.
I can make a point, maybe I can steal a van.
Da-da-da.
And then, but anyway, so this one tape that was going to become this next album, Liam had, and
I found it and it was broken, and I fixed it. And I took it apart and spliced the tape back together like a cassette tape. And I put the tape back together and I played it. It didn't sound right. It was a 4-track tape, and I put it in my 4-track, and it was us talking and doing those weird things where back and forth. And on there, he mentioned Chester, and he said all this
well,
stuff.
you said
and-
Chester was kind of a bunch of different forms until they kind of turned into
I mean, there were
Chester.
so many names. It was like right before Sifl, it was like, hi, my name's Bob, and this is Danny. And then we talked for a while, and it's like, hi, I'm Sifl, and this is my friend Olly. And it was
This
only
is
said
our
it once
first
on the tape.
advertisement.
The names were never said again, so...
Yeah, it was a commercial for the album. That,
Oh, yeah,
It was.
yeah.
and then
And
they
for
just...
oatmeal,
For oatmeal. Which
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
coming back.
which keeps haunting us, which you'll soon learn.
Dun, dun, dun.
And so I basically took these, and I had been inspired by this English gas commercials that British Gas, the guys that do Wallace and Gromit did, Aardman Productions did these animals talking to just recordings of people normally speaking. And I wanted to do that, but I really couldn't because I didn't have claymation stuff, so I borrowed a camera and I thought I'll do it with puppets. And it was like 4 in the morning, and I didn't have anything to make puppets except a sunflower, a big plastic sunflower. So I cut the petals off, and I had this mold of Buddha by chance, and I put those are like the sunflower petals are Chester's eyes, and then the rest of the clippings from cutting out is Olly's hair, and the leaves underneath are Sifl's hair, and just took socks out of my drawer that I'd been wearing for months, and just made them. And as soon as I looked at them, I'm like, oh my god, I love them. I love them. Like, as soon as I made them, I was like, oh, these guys are so awesome looking. And I had them up on my dresser for so long, I didn't do anything with them, and I was just like, oh, they look so cool. I thought Sifl looked so cool. Because Olly was going to have a cardboard box for a head in the beginning. Thank God I didn't do that, because it would never have lasted. And then actually, Chester was going to be Sifl, or Chester was going to be Olly. But I thought, no, these dudes should be like a yin and a yang. And they should be like the same type of thing. Yeah, same type of thing.
I noticed Sifl has fins. Does he really have fins back there, or what is
No,
that?
he doesn't have anything back there.
'Cause I noticed the Godfather comes in.
He
he's
says
like,
that it was
"Hey,
whatever.
Yeah.
That was a joke because the guy that's doing The Godfather is the senior vice president of MTV.
All right.
John Miller, and he was doing the voice. And part of, like, the thing we talked about, we really wanted to get into what is like from here down on the Sifl and Olly show. Like, like what are they? Like, do they have legs? Do they have like? Is it like
One
one
leg.
leg going into like an army boot? Or something like, what the hell do they look like? And so we would tease. We would flirt with things. The thing about shaving
Actually,
their legs.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
wanted
we always talk
to
about legs.
have the shot go down, and like every week it or be
Oh, yeah, we
something
never got
different,
to
like
do
a
that.
peg
Yeah, yeah.
leg or striped
Like
pants.
we'd be sitting here and I'd be like, hey dude, whoa, what's wrong with your feet? And then you get a shot of like the bottom of the mic stand and cables and like weird things that would be on the floor. And you see like a peg leg and a beaver foot. Which is so, and we never did that, but I think we talked about it with John Miller. So he was like, hey, you over there with your flippers or
Flippers or
whatever.
whatever
And he
they
was
are.
trying to talk about like what that
Might
Sifl
be.
might be eel-like or something.
Well, also we called Sifl an eggplant shark snake.
He's like an eggplant shark snake.
Yeah, this is what we decided
And
he looked
Ollie's
like.
like a a lemon meringue pup cake. Like a puppy cupcake.
So Sifl definitely looks like a shark and a snake
And an eggplant.
and an eggplant.
On that note, wasn't there some sort of discussion about the cameraman falling asleep and then going down and down and to the point where it was Satan himself that was actually doing
yeah, I said that on an email. That was a long time ago. Yeah, talking about if we ever got canceled, which we did. We were gonna say do the last shot as the camera pans down the mic stand, and as it goes down, there's Satan, and his horns, and Sifl and Olly are on his horns. And he was like, no! And then the show would go off the air. And he'd be like, oh my god, those are like a puppet show on Satan's horns. Just like, oh my god, that would have been beautiful. Like the insanity of that.
That would have really got the show down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What?
Quick and clean.
Like if we thought, well, if we're like in the middle of production and we get canceled in the middle of production, we'll film that and put it on here. Never happened. But you know, maybe we can start making more too, and just like we've also talked about just making them and releasing videos of new ones.
That would be so
We actually
cool.
made some
Not
little
very-
shorts
Yeah.
about a month ago, and there's a couple really, really funny moments. Especially haven't done it in so long. Just sitting and like, so,
Yeah.
dude.
And Chester. We did some Chester stuff too. Actually, we record some audio so that when we release videos, Sifl and Olly can host
Introduce
the
it.
videos and introduce the videos. And so we just did some audio and talked to Chester.
The camera's on. What? It's back on. Are you sure?
Wait a second.
It's on. I don't know. Do something.
We're on? Like they've been sitting there
Waiting.
for years, waiting for the red light to come on. Pretty funny, and Chester's gets in the room, and everything's kind of. And I think wasn't it that Olly is paying Sifl to stay just in
Right,
case?
just in
And
case
Sifl's
they-
like, dude, I'm gonna go. Dude, just.
And mic turn on. Wait.
And like Ollie's trying to do shows for Sifl to keep him entertained to stay just in case the light comes on.
And then sure enough,
Came
it's
on.
on.
But yeah, we might do more and release them on video. People don't know also that we did it for 2.5 years before it was ever on America. So there was like we did it for I was constantly puppeting Sifl and Ollie stuff. It seemed for 4 years.
Yeah.
So that's a long time. Think of all of high school.
But how is this deal that they do? What did they do? They said to you, okay, if we only give you 1 season, you own it, and if we do 2 seasons,
No, there was a certain number of seasons, and
Or a certain
after
number
a
of
certain point they would own it.
episodes.
But the truth is that they just don't care so much, and I've nagged their legs down to nubs, and they're just sick of it, of hearing the bitching about it. Whenever we were on the air, I was getting tens of thousands of emails requesting videos, and I would print them off into phone book-sized stacks and keep mailing them to the heads of MTV to get the T-shirts made and stuff. They never did it. I mailed them literally like 10,000 emails of just stacks and stacks of paper, and I just sit there and print them out and just like keep mailing them stacks, and they still wouldn't get it through their heads. So then I went and designed all the T-shirts and like, here they are, let's just do it, and they never would, and we couldn't get them to. But because Sifl and Olly was so cheap for them to make, it was like pocket change. Like it didn't matter if they did anything with it. It didn't matter if it failed because it was very cheap for them to make compared to other shows. Obviously, the actors are socks that you throw away after. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't paying actors and stuff.
Mindset? I mean, that
Well,
It's
I think
ridiculous.
when they
It's
deal
totally
with merchandise,
pointless.
they're used to making these huge deals.
They want $10
and
million
since we
or
weren't
nothing.
quite there, yeah, they couldn't.
So like,
there's
if
no
you
in
if you
between.
said we could make you guys $500,000 by selling videos. Whatever. Really. And you just kind of like, yeah, but I got 1,000 people that want videos. There were more people in my high school. You know what I mean? And so they're like, they only want literally 5 million people and up or nothing. And you're like, yeah, but everybody wants it.
What if we kidnap Carson Daly?
I know, but I'd like you
Yeah,
to,
that'd be
if you would.
great. I know where you can keep
I
him for a
can't put
couple
up with
years.
this.
Yeah.
Big hole.
Hopefully we're gonna have
Buried.
another show on TV, a cartoon on very soon that we
Yeah.
do the voices for, and actually there's gonna be cartoons of Matt and I in it too. Because we are brain damaged, we have chips, implants in our heads, and we've been in a terrible sort of sci-fi accident with these chips in our heads, and we're fusing television shows together. And it's mixtures of TV shows, and fusing them and mixing them up into cartoons.
And hopefully, actually, we hope to, and infusing different TV shows, parodying, we hope to be able to parody Sifl and Olly. just to kind of like.
Sifl and Olly will definitely show up.
Yeah,
and
they'll
there
be
definitely
there.
will be so many like
We'll make references.
winks to you guys in the show of like,
Yeah.
you know, like you don't know when we say this or just something like if there's like a scene going on and somebody just runs through and goes the banda and like.
Or just even use names again to bring back
definitely.
and bring back characters. There's so many characters that MTV would never remember. You know,
Yeah.
we could have Pat Lacey come by.
I mean,
There's
they'll
a
take
Click's
advantage of
Pizza.
them not knowing, and also the fact that every day somebody is fired and a new person takes their place. It's just like people are constantly changing it. So even when you're trying to work there with people, every day there's a new person sitting at the desk, and you're like,
Sick,
you know,
isn't it?
huh?
It's sick.
It's
Oh,
tough.
yeah,
but you
it's
know,
definitely weird.
like Liam said before, we are really fortunate in the people we have worked with at MTV.
Yeah, the people
And they all know about
we
this.
worked with
There's
got
so
it.
many people who would love to have been here because they support our show. It's just that when the real answer comes in, it's from the guy in New York who's just looking at how many zeros around
money.
the end
It's
of his.
it's commercial money. That's exactly why. And even though you know, Sifl and Olly on any other network, you know, would have had pretty good numbers for any other cable network. But for MTV, if it isn't huge numbers, it's out. And that's why their shows are like on for once. No, that's good. This, no, this, and like their shows are just so they don't have even like real seasons like networks do or anything because they're always at all times they're working on 45 shows, pilots for 45 shows always. And they're just like, this, no, and they test them in front of 14-year-old kids and 16-year-old kids.
They're
Yeah.
causing ADD.
Yeah, well what they're doing is they're trying to create trends and be cool enough to defy them at the same time. So it's like, you know what, wearing hats is cool, so I'm gonna take mine off because I'm cooler than wearing hats. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's like that.
Show? Remember that Together
Yeah.
show that they did that was supposed to be a
Yeah.
parody that suddenly turned into a...
It turned into the real thing.
That's some TV.
Well, we will beat this all out of the piñata tomorrow.
Are you concerned with All Powerful Television then? Like if you're going to be pitching it to MTV, are you concerned?
Oh no, I mean we're working on it right now. It's already in progress.
It's a pilot. in
But it's going
development.
to be with MTV, correct?
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
I think there's always the hope that, like,
Yeah, like no matter
we-
what, even if
we
it's like
kinda-
a...
Yeah.
We kind of cut our teeth on Sifl and Olly. We learned a lot of lessons real
Yeah.
fast about how we can make this happen and how we can get things done. And so hopefully we can avoid making some of the same mistakes and a lot of the same traps
Yeah.
on El Powerful.
Also, some of the jerks aren't there anymore at
Yeah.
MTV. The people that work at MTV right now, like all of our, a lot of the people that worked on Sifl and Olly are still at MTV and they've moved up.
Yeah.
And so, these are our friends that we go out with every night. You know what I mean? So it's like, so that's good. That's another good thing about it too. And actually, I mean, the heads of MTV loved Sifl and Olly, and they were all like heartbroken that it wasn't getting the ratings because then they knew they had to take it off. Imagine like being a Sifl and Olly fan and having to be the person that had to cancel it. So it is a tough situation. You're like, it's like.
They should
Whatever.
have kept it at 1 o'clock in the morning.
That begs the question.
It's true.
Are you guys contractually obligated to MTV, or
What's that?
are you guys contractually obligated to MTV, or have you ever
As
thought
far
about
as
that?
Sifl and Olly, or as far
As
as
far as anything else?
Well, for El Powerful Television, if they pay us to make the show El Powerful Television,
right.
we'll do it. Yeah,
Or
Wait,
would you be better served by like Comedy Central or something like that?
I've had tons of meetings with Comedy Central, and they were the most boring people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, they have a real. They turn over stuff so fast, and they're having a hard time getting a good show, so they don't look for any good ones.
Yeah, they canceled Viva Variety.
They ditched a lot of their good stuff.
Yeah.
They had good stuff
Yeah.
on Cartoon Network.
I get Yeah, I
UCB,
didn't-
Straight from
All gone.
Candy, all that
the
stuff.
thing.
Well, like
Yeah,
strip mall and
it's
stuff.
really weird.
Strip also.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
You know what? Like, what's on TV is so different than what's in the offices of TV networks, is what the thing is. And we're in the offices of TV networks, and it's not like TV shows. It's like some dude that's like all pissed off and tense, sitting behind a desk like needing to make shows and stressed, so stressed that they can't concentrate on what you're saying by the end of the sentence because they're thinking of something and they don't want to hear you, or it's weird.
So trying to make structure out of a show that had absolutely no structure and no parameters when it came back over to the States and we were having to make plots and stories and stuff like that was pretty weird. I mean, it was trying to like make stories out of nothing situation. So
Mm.
I just gotta ask, when MTV's done those stupid little like uncensored things, like showing how cool and funky it is to work for MTV, is that all just bullshit?
No, I mean
No,
it's
you know,
cool to work there. It's just
cool. It's a good place, and it's even though we all have the same concerns about should we do another job for MTV, but by the same respect, of course we should, because in some ways it's MTV,
and you can't do anything anywhere. No other network is better. There isn't any. It's huge money. I've been doing a lot of meetings with the Sci-Fi Channel, like so many, because we made this thing called Dr. Zoom.
See part of it tomorrow.
And we're gonna show some of it tomorrow. But
Cool.
And this Dr. Zoom thing is it might be on this show Exposure.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been fighting for.
Yeah.
You get to meet Lisa.
I didn't get to meet Lisa Marie, no, but I got to meet Bill Platt, the guy that works in the office at Sci-Fi Channel, who also has never met Lisa Marie, but decides what goes on the show. Yeah. But yeah, so there's lots of networks. You have to deal with crap to get stuff done, and even if we have to, in El Powerful Television, we're gonna have to butt heads with people, and there's politics anywhere you go. You can work at at a restaurant and be dealing with politics of somebody who's higher up, and it's anywhere you go that sort of struggles. And
it only takes one success to start getting a little leverage. At
Yeah.
some point in time, if we're able to succeed and have a lot of success, then we can go into other networks and we'll open a lot of doors for us. So.
But also, we'll get a cartoon on that you guys would think is funny. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing, and so
Yeah,
we're gonna have
in order
fun.
to create the kind of stuff we have to create, we have to go to people like MTV, even though half the time.
As lame as they are, they're super edgy and they're ahead of everybody. They actually are. Watch the show Fear. Look how many other networks have shows that are like scariest places where the people have the cameras on them and everything. They invent everything and they take chances. But the reason is they're like this ultra fast conveyor belt of a petri dish, constantly testing what works and what doesn't. So things are getting thrown out the windows as fast as they come. But when they find something that works, it's Tom Green or it's something really big, and then all the other networks let MTV take the chances, and then they FX and all these channels try to copy them or copy their editing styles or their looks. Or Real World kicked off. Look what it kicked off.
Yeah,
How many shows can be rooted? Go back to that show. And as lame as annoying those people are, 10 million people, a day at a time will watch the worst, Real World that's a rerun from 9 years ago. Yeah. Still, people will watch that'll give it the highest commercial ratings and the highest ratings, in cable TV, and just and that's why Real World and stuff was on so much, because then their commercials are worth more for longer times the day.
MTV was celebrating their 20th anniversary this year.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday, and
Yeah.
since then too. You've never mentioned Sifl and Olly.
I know, never. It's so
That
weird.
network has a very short-term memory. I mean, it's amazing how quickly things are there and big and then gone and completely forgotten.
Yeah, our friends Randy and Jason Sklar had a show too, Apartment 2F. And
Buzzkill's up there.
Buzzkill. A lot of people that worked on Buzzkill worked on Sifl and Olly. So, there are a lot of shows. I wish that the young ones were still on MTV, because that was a funny show, man. Oh yeah, Oddities too.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. So
Yes.
Liquid Television,
And Flux.
Yeah, Eon Flux is on Liquid Television. So there are good things, but they never stay. The State.
We have lost a stream.
The State was a great show, I thought.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We're gonna start wrapping this stuff up. So if you guys want to keep talking, stay. But I'm sure some people are getting tired and want to stretch out a little bit. So
Yeah, take a
let's
little
kind of
break.
wrap it up, and
I also
we'll be
wanted to
here.
remind everyone
Allison.
that Raver DJ Cox is going to be spinning this morning
That's right.
at 5:30 a.m.
Ow.
at Catatonic.
That's some after hours, dude.
Catatonic is on 12th Avenue, he told me. Do you guys know where that
Yeah,
is?
it's across from 12th and
Oh,
Porter.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
right next to there. Last night they were
Oh, yeah.
starting.
It's next door to where we were last night.
Oh, okay.
What
okay.
time is tomorrow's first function?
Yeah. Well, we're going to open up at 10, and I'm going to be showing just episodes from seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We'll be really mellow in the morning. And
Does
then-
it work? Did you try it out yet?
I didn't try it out with my TV, or my videos, but they brought in like, this beach blanket video.
Bingo.
Cereal breakfast is in Travis's. What room are you in, Travis?
2063.
2063. Around 8:30. Yep. My breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's,
And you can all have a free Long Island iced tea.
and free.
All right, folks, it's been a good night. Oops, pardon me. Great job, guys.
Hey, man.
You guys rocked it, totally.